Nico's got a rite of initiation waiting for you in the common room. Don't keep Nico waiting. She hates waiting. It's to officially welcome you into the Midnight Suns. Be very afraid. Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother Gabe along. He'd love this place.
Ain't no rest for the Midnight Suns. Nico's got something planned for you. Something real special. Don't miss out.
So Dr. Faustus tried to drop a warehouse on you? Ugh, that guy is so lame. Talk about a prototypical follower.
Good girl, Charlie. Who is a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Something tells me you don't have a favorite movie. Well, we can start you out with one of my favorites. I'm kinda getting the impression Doctor Strange is a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, just because it's magical junk doesn't mean it's not junk. You know what they call an artifact that only works in a pocket dimension once every 10,000 years? I don't know either, because I don't hoard junk. It's cool, I can wait. It's good to punch HYDRA in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring, but still. In school, they never taught us about HYDRA's role in World War II. Do you think modern HYDRA made sure of that? Where does HYDRA find so many troopers? There's no hiring app for goons. But if there was, I'd call it a goober. I get why they named themselves HYDRA. If you're all about insidious corruption, no one will take you seriously if you're called bedbugs or black mold. I hope you knocked some sense into those troopers. Gig economy or not, HYDRA is no way to pay the bills. It's good to punch HYDRA in the face, but they feel like a red herring. Okay, a black and red herring. I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. Can we do it again? So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the staff of one? Or who were the runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The staff of one interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the staff of one functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of, and not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had some questions.
Go for it.
If each magical effect is unique, do you worry you will run out of words?
Not really. I only use the staff's power when I truly need it. The rest of the time, I rely on more conventional means. Like, magic.
I had some questions about your old team.
The runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out 2 very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran, but eventually we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. Typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively. Lilith is no less aggressive now than she was 300 years ago. If anything, she's become even more brazen with age. Hopefully, it's just desperation on her part. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but...
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
I remember many sleepless nights and blood-soaked days. Always on the hunt.
I'll give you that. But there were times back then I wouldn't trade for anything. With both you and...
Agatha. Where is Agatha?
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... she's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
The loss could not have been easy for you.
Thank you for that, but it's not just my loss. It's all of ours. And what makes this loss even harder to accept is that it was completely avoidable. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control. And this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Wanda, Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter. I remember when I used to go out on these missions myself. At least I can always rely on you to get the job done. They don't all need to be battles against some infamous demonic threat. Sometimes a nice straight fight is all you need. Don't downplay the importance of winning these minor battles. We need everyone to stay sharp. Every mission is important, especially when you're still learning to work with new allies.
Agatha!
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Bloodgate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? This ominous-looking portal is known as a blood gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Bloodgate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
That is something. Hello, my sweet girl.
The portal awaits. There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah, Caretaker, was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
Leave some for the rest of us. They cannot possibly match your strength. You were too weak for this fight. I am impressed. They focus on me.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly won't.
Your mother abandoned. Your fate is sealed. Feel my call.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial. But don't worry, the other gods are waiting. To be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there? Use the word of power on the door over there.
I will try.
Use the word of power on the door over there.
I will try. Blessings of the goddess.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful. as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Good girl, Charlie.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
That looks good. Noble Ostrom guides my hand. impostor smiles upon me. This looks like a fairy ring. as one of the elemental rods.
This team is certainly getting stronger and more dangerous every day. I think it's encouraging that there's so many heroes waiting to join the fight. In a situation like this, I'd say we can use all the help we can get. This team is certainly getting stronger and more dangerous every day.
Hunter. Nobody knows exactly what it is you remember, so they'll probably want to hold your hand for a minute. Don't take it personally. I still say we should have built a firing range first. All right then.
Hola. Man, I just wish I could have brought my brother.
More doesn't mean better. If they want to be part of the team, they'll have to earn it.
Regardless of what Mr. Stark thinks, the mirror table was guiding our hand reliably for centuries before the advent of computers.
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little HYDRA gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate?
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what HYDRA is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a "we" in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss. Caretaker isn't big on the idea of hardwiring this place to an arc reactor. As far as I can tell, power here is distributed mostly via cobwebs and ghost farts anyway. The more the merrier, right? Use all the help we can get, especially if they're willing to live in this place. Thanks to the miracle of modern hellfire, we have a near-limitless power source that, for whatever reason, burns ice cold. So much for science, right? Oh, hey, did you tell our new member about the tattoo? No? I thought we were all getting matching tattoos. Does this place smell funny to you? It's not the hellfire. There's something funky about here I just can't seem to place. All this time, I figured these flames were connected to some kind of underground caldera. Boy, was I wrong. I'm sure Caretaker has another ratty mattress around here somewhere. I'm convinced now there's something down there, under the forge. Seriously, ask Strange. It's monster breath. The Caretaker isn't big on the idea of hardwiring this place to an arc reactor. As far as I can tell, power here is distributed most...
We desperately need to get into this crate. If HYDRA is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever's in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
I hope the two of you create something powerful. I want to stop Lilith quickly and decisively.
As I said, I'm sure it can help us. I just need to convince Tony to set his ego aside. His discomfort with the esoteric nature of the arcane might be a problem.
But Tony's eccentricities aside, I know you can make this work.
Right now, with the sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Approach the anvil, Hunter. We do not have time to spare. There's more to this workspace than meets the eye, Hunter. These flames aren't born of any fire. Were I less skilled in the art of meditation, Tony's presence here would be extremely disruptive. As it stands, he still manages to be a minor annoyance, even on the astral plane. Despite what the name might imply, I doubt we'll be doing any traditional forging per se, although I did hear Tony mention something about a magnetic field, induction, nano... not really my area of expertise. You'd think with the Abbey having such expansive grounds I wouldn't be forced into a communal workspace. I suppose we all have to take one for the team occasionally. The magics involved in moving the Abbey and its surrounding grounds were nothing short of remarkable. These flames have likely burned for hundreds of years, if not longer. There's more to this workspace than meets the eye, Hunter. These flames aren't born of any fire.